Hi, this is kind of like I'm starting a dancer's diary, I guess. Even though I'm not really dancing at the moment, I just wanted to start like talking about, I don't know, things. I'm talking about like dance and ballet and my life as a dancer through the lens of like, here I am right now, not dancing and, just remembering things that were incredible or like just going over basically my whole dancing life. Um, and what kind of sparked me today to talk was okay, so I went out to our backyard with my niece, who's like 5, and we were building a snowman and making like a slide and stuff. Um, and we just didn't even feel the time go by. It was just a good time outdoors, and it's snowing like a lot and it's not that chilly, but it's chilly for the time we spent outside. By the time we came inside, I like my legs I mean, I wasn't that cold because I was properly dressed, but um I left like my pants were just wet, like my knees were wet, and I forgot to change them, and eventually like my knees started to get cold and I was like, oh, I really should have changed those pants. So I ended up changing out of my leggings and finally got like back to my normal self. But I started. My niece had dance class today that was canceled because of the snowstorm. I offered to like just do a class for her while she's missing the class. So she didn't want to because she was tired, but I ended up just doing a little bar for myself, and I was like, oh, I feel so warm and just like not so antsy, and I was able to like just, I don't know, I felt like I was kind of living. I remembered what it was that I fell in love with in terms of ballet and dance, and it was just like, you're once you start dancing, or like especially bar, I realized like you're dancing and it's so monotonous in a way, like in a good way, that your body gets warm, and also it's like the structure of what you're doing makes you, it kind of like tightens your mind in a way, like you're doing things within certain confines, but you're also free within those confines. It's just so interesting. And it's almost like a contradicting feeling, but you're so busy in a way, like in the greatest sense of that word. Like your mind is just like, and your body is just like a roller coaster, I guess, but like a not so scary roller coaster. And you keep moving and keep moving. And what I imagine is happening in my brain is that like my neurons are just firing nonstop, and therefore I'm active and like I'm happy, and like all that stuff translates. And I realized that that's why I loved doing what I did. It was just like you put yourself in a place in your mind where you're in like a constant sort of state of happiness. Um yeah, you're just like kind of always on the peak of the mountain, so to speak, just because you're constantly moving. Um of course that's not like always the case, but it was just like that moment where you're constantly doing something, which is just so interesting. And you're not doing much because you're not like especially like doing a tendu exercise, you're not invading anybody else's space. You're not like using a huge ton of space. Like you're not paying tons of money to do something. You're literally in like a tiny corner of a room doing tendus, or like, you're just doing the regimen of the exercise in a small space. So it's like affordable, easy, um, and like does not involve anybody else. You don't even need music. Like it's just so natural. And yeah, so I was doing that and I was so warm, and I was just like, I could keep doing this. It's just an easy little like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then to the back and to the side, like going like front, side, front, side, front, side. And then eventually I was like, ooh, I want to like over like cross a little bit more, like work on this and work on this and like little tiny, it reminded me of sculpting because you're like, and we were literally like making snowmen outside, so it's kind of like sculpting the snow. And just reminded me of like that slight perfectionism, but like that feeling where you're carving stuff out, you know, and you're in a way you're kind of doing that with your body and with your muscles. So I just, yeah, those were good times. So I felt like I was doing so many types of like fields of work in one, like, you know, like cleaning. Like I feel like dancing is a form of cleaning. You're just cleaning your own mind and space and body. And like you're kind of as though you're sculpting a piece of clay, but like with your own body. And like you're designing too. Like there's just so many things that are happening in your mind in like a tiny bit of time. And yeah, just it's interesting. Just thought I'd share that.